Thank you very much. This is a school board meeting, so I'd like to call the meeting to session with all trustees present. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? We have a motion from Dr. McQuarrie. Is there a second? We have a second from Dr. Evans. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries 5-0. I would like to, at this point in time, introduce the principal of Sarah High School, Erica Renfrey.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 State of the District Address. I am Dr. Erica Renfrey, principal here at Sarah High School. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Sarah High School in the last 3 years has had some major accomplishments. Sarah High has set 5 instructional goals in 5 years that align with federal, state, and local standards. Sarah High School has had students who have accumulated millions of dollars in scholarships, with students going everywhere across the nation, from higher education like Harvard to our own local San Diego State University. Sarah High School was ranked by U.S. News and World Report in the top 5% of all of the nation's high schools. And there were several others on that list too, from this district. Sarah High School has been in the news 9 times for positive press last year relating to students giving back to the community in which the school is set, which demonstrates our vision that not only is important to nurture the academics of the child, but also the whole child and prepare them for a global society they cannot yet imagine. Sarah High School is honored to be hosting this event and hope to do so in the continuing future. Now please stand for the presentation of colors by Sarah High School's very own NJROTC and the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To play our national anthem, please welcome students from the Sarah High School Golden Regiment Marching Band. Thank you. Please be seated. To begin tonight's program, please welcome Board President Kevin Beiser.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight. I'd like to begin by officially calling the meeting to order. I'd like to express our appreciation for those individuals who made tonight possible. First, I'd like to thank California Coast Credit Union for sponsoring tonight's reception. CalCoast is a valued district partner who continually supports our academic initiatives as well as our events celebrating our academic achievements. Renee McKee, Vice President of Marketing and Community Relations, is here tonight. We can't thank you enough. Can you please stand? And I'm a member. Next, I'd like to thank everyone at Sarah High School for hosting tonight's event. Thank you to the Sarah High students and music director Michael Fiedler for the outstanding entertainment that provided during the reception. I'm excited to say that we'll be hearing from them again later in our program. And finally, thanks to the district's Food Services Catering Department for catering this evening's event, the Communications Department and the Board Services Office for coordinating tonight's event. Let's thank all the people that have helped make tonight possible. At this time, I'd like to invite my fellow board members to join me on stage to say a few words. Each board member can come up to the podium, and please, if you'd like to have some remarks for 1 to 2, 3 minutes, that'd be great. There's no buzzer tonight. We'll begin with Vice President Dr. Sharon Whitehurst Payne.
Good evening. Good evening. Always love to hear you say that to me. Thank you. That teacher comes out in me. I expect a response. I would like to say that I welcome each of you here tonight, and I'm grateful for all of your support on behalf of the children here in San Diego City Schools. The board has been on a trajectory to improve all of the schools, and we're seeing some of the results, and you're seeing some of the results out there too. And tonight you'll hear about those things as the president and the superintendent speak. But I want you to know that we're not resting on our laurels, because we know that until every child in this district achieves, we have not accomplished our goal. So just know that we are committed to that dichotomy of success here in general, but we're looking at specific success for each and every child, because we know that parents are depending upon us and the society is depending upon us. So I want to say thank you, because we need you as partners, regardless of what your role is, whether you're an aide in the classroom, you're a secretary in the office, a teacher, a parent. We need you, community, businesses. We need all of us committed and moving in the same direction for the success of all of our children, not just one, not just a certain group, but for each and every child. Thank you for being here today, and God bless you.
Well, thank you, Sarah High School. I'm Richard Barrera. I represent District D on the school board, which is primarily schools that flow into San Diego High School and some of the schools that flow into Hoover High School. We're very proud to be here tonight. I echo Sharon's comments that seeing everybody here just reminds us of our community's ongoing commitment to our public schools. We know that our public schools are really what makes San Diego a great place both today and in the future. Every time we're asked as a community to come together to show our support for the public schools, San Diegans say yes, even as we're facing pressure at the national level and at the state level, and even as our families face the pressure of dealing with issues like the cost of living and the lack of an ability to make ends meet here in San Diego. Our public schools are our beacon. It's why we come together. It's why we move past any differences that we have so that we can focus and continue to get better and do right by our kids. Thanks again for being here tonight. Thank you.
I'm John Lee Evans, representing District A, and I'm very happy to be here tonight with all of you. When Richard Barrera and I came on the board in 2008, we started talking about Vision 2020, and obviously 2020 is getting very close. But we were really looking at what was the vision of the district at that time, but there's been a lot happening over the last 150 years of public education here in San Diego. So it was that board at that time that started moving forward. The trustees who have joined since then have endorsed the plans we've been working on. We also have a former board member, where are you, Catherine Nakamura, who was also involved in working on all of these reforms that we've been doing here in San Diego Unified School District. And I think we're here at a high school, and one of the things that's really important is our high schools are not the same high schools as your father, your grandfather, or even your older brother, that they have radically changed. One of the things when we started preparing all students to have the option by the time they graduated to either go to college or go straight into a career technical field, we have a lot of career technical training programs. We have community college courses, many, many more than we did before on campus. We've looked at more equity in terms of providing the services all across the district and making sure that the innovation centers are helping those who need to catch up. So there's a lot of things that have happened during this time. When we began, the class of 2020 was in first grade. They are now juniors in high school, and I think rather than listening to me, I would just encourage you to go to the internet and either to the district website or to YouTube and look up Vision 2020, the San Diego Unified School District, and you can actually hear those students talking about what their experience is in the San Diego Unified School District. Thank you.
Thank you, John. So that's John Lee Evans from District A. So you notice the districts in schools are alphabet, and for the cities, there are numbers. So for me, I use a little memory help. So A is for the apex. B for Beiser is the beltway. Then we get Richard is D for downtown. And then we have Sharon Whitehurst Payne is E for southeast San Diego. And C, I am C for coastal. So my district are the coastal schools within San Diego. I love what I do, the people with whom I work and serve, and where I work. Being an elected school board member of the second largest school district in California and the 8th largest urban district in the United States is both a challenge and an opportunity. The San Diego Unified School District has accomplished much, has received a number of statewide and national awards, and has been recognized by nationally renowned university scholars for being the best urban school district in the nation, as well as a positive outlier, achieving exemplary status among urban school districts. We know that we have much more to do and bigger opportunities and challenges ahead. Many of these are urgent and demand immediate attention. Let me focus on just one of these. Recent national events clearly call attention to the need for increased civility, improved communication skills, enhanced research skills, honest reporting, and vigorous discussion of the facts, collaborative processes and collective problem solving, and a renewal of basic democratic principles and a respect for the rule of law. Increased compassion and empathy, and an understanding of the consequences that our economic, social, and political actions have on our quality of life and the sustainability of the planet. In short, There is an urgency to strengthen programs that promote civic learning, cultural competencies, world language, and global acuity. In order for our students to take their place in the world, they will need to know multiple languages, feel comfortable in multiple cultures, understand the various flows of history and the root causes of impending international conflicts, understand how to make sense of an ever-expanding database, have the ability to search, retrieve, codify, and make decisions based on massive amounts of information, be able to establish healthy relationships and maintain a healthy lifestyle, and have a sense of presence that enables a mental focus, calmness, and emotional balance. Also, developing a capacity for compassion and empathy would be helpful. We can use this moment to take stock of where we are, where we have been, identify lessons learned, clarify improvements to be made, and determine how well we are progressing on achieving our Vision 2020. And we can begin to look to the future and plan for Vision 2030. One aspect of a Vision 2030 will involve preparing our students for citizenship in a global community. When students not only have a driver's license and are asked to complete community service projects, but also have a passport and are engaged in international projects. Let me conclude by thanking you. Thank you for your dedication to the effort and the work we do together to establish high-quality places of learning, to ensure a safe and optimal environment where families and community members feel trusted, respected, and valued, to implement a broad and challenging curriculum across the district, to demand equity through excellence for all, to promote a wide range of supportive services for the whole child, and to ensure enhanced learning opportunities and access for all students, regardless of their needs or where they live, so that every child will develop the skills, knowledge, and educational experience they need to accomplish their dreams, live a fulfilling life of continuous learning, and be prepared. To be prepared to step boldly into a more complex and a more culturally diverse world. This is the opportunity and challenge we face as members of the greater family of the San Diego Unified School District. I am proud to be a member of this family and working together to confront today's challenges and fulfill tomorrow's opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of our fellow board members, Vice President Dr. Sharon Whitehurst-Payne, Dr. John Lee Evans, Dr. Mike McQuarrie, and Trustee Richard Barrera. Thank you very much for your remarks. Before we get started with tonight's official address, I'd like to once again introduce the students from the Sarah High School Golden Regiment Marching Band here to perform the Sarah High School alma mater. Thank you very much, Sarah High School. Vice President Whitehurst Payne, fellow trustees, Superintendent Cindy Martin, Principal Renfrey, teachers, parents, and community members. Thank you very much for joining us on what I believe is the most important night of the year. I say that because the state of the district is the state of San Diego. Half of the residents in the city either graduated from our schools or has a student in one of our schools now. So the success of our city depends on the success of our schools. And tonight is our opportunity to report out to the entire city how we're doing together. I'm a math teacher. You know, I'm going to start with the numbers. The strong academic achievements of the students include these impressive numbers. San Diego has the highest graduation rate of any large urban district in California and the lowest dropout rate. We accomplished this while introducing new, more rigorous graduation standards in our schools. We also have the most academic growth in both math and reading as measured by the National Assessment for Educational Progress, or NAEP, also known as the nation's report card. No wonder the Council of Great City Schools said our students blew the socks off the national academic testing results. And the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Torlakson, singled out San Diego Unified as one of 3 districts across the entire state of California to show as an example of what's going right in public education today. If you're a teacher or a staff member, could you please stand up? We have so many teachers and staff members to thank for dedicating their lives to our children and working tirelessly to help our children learn and grow. As we're talking about what's going on right in public education, let me introduce some who have dedicated their lives to children. Mike George, please stand up. Many of you have known Mike for many years. Mike is a retired administrator, veteran, and sometimes a clown. No, really, a clown for the Shriners Children's Hospital. He's helped award over $150,000 in scholarships as a Kearney High Alumni Association member and is a graduated from Taft Middle as well. Thank you very much for all your service, Mike, for the community and the kids. Next, I'd like to recognize Joann Fields. I've gotten to know Joann quite well over the last many years. She's a tireless advocate for our community, for Filipino language and culture in our schools. And because of her, we continue to have strong Filipino language and culture programs in San Diego schools. Thank you, Joann. Thank you. We have Principal Liz Sloan from Ebs Scripts. Liz? Liz has been the principal of Ebs Scripts in Scripps Ranch for quite some time. I'll never forget when we worked together to protect students in the GATE program many years ago. And more recently this year, she had a student that had cancer and lost her hair. So the student decided, let's have a hat drive for all the students with cancer. And Liz has been a great champion and partner to make sure that our children grow up in schools that learn to help others in our community. Thank you, Ms. Sloan. We also have PTA presidents that are here. One, in particular, Celeste Bobrick-Ozaki. Celeste Bobrick-Ozaki, it's kind of hard for me to see up here because the lights are in my eyes. But Celeste Bobrick-Ozaki has been a champion in the PTA fighting to help the school district protect music and the arts and do so many other things that we know are good for kids. And that's why partners with parents is so vital for the work that we do. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my predecessor, Catherine Nakamura. Please stand. Catherine Nakamura was a formidable opponent, but after I was elected to the school board, we worked together on our shared common goals. With her help and her leadership, we were able to finish the Performing Arts Center at Patrick Henry High School and protect music and art across the district. Thank you, Catherine. Finally, I'd like to ask Keisha Borden, the president of the Teachers Union, San Diego Education Association. She is the leader fighting for smaller class sizes, fighting to protect enrichment programs for our students like music, art, elementary school PE, and all the other tools that we know that our educators need. These academic successes, number one in the state of California amongst all large urban districts, number one in the United States of America for growth in both reading and math, are a result of the leadership of our teachers and our staff members helping support the teachers in the classroom and all over the school. While the test scores are clearly amazing, we all know children are more than just a test score. To provide a robust curriculum, we've embarked upon an ambitious strategic arts plan that provides equitable access so that all schools offer music and the arts. We continue to fund our vital career technical education programs with hundreds of community corporate partners helping us to transform education to prepare our students for the jobs of tomorrow. I think to get a real sense of how we're transforming education in San Diego, I hope that you'll join me in watching the following video. Can we please start the clip?
We recognize that these students are going into a workforce we not yet understand is going to be their reality, and the way that technology is moving, we need to think about ways in which we can engage our students in the ways that they want to learn. STEAM, most people think of as the acronym, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, but for us at Montgomery, it's really about the intersection of the disciplines.
In my class, it's almost like a organized chaos. You come in, there's a buzz, you see students collaborating, working on the computers, working with technology, building things with their hands, helping each other. To see that they have a choice on topics they may want to learn more about, and seeing how engaged they become is a breath of fresh air. Today we're doing the unveiling for our Genius Lab here at Montgomery Middle School, and Siemens is a sponsor of our lab. Fuse is the vehicle that Siemens provides the students to give them opportunities to learn about STEAM.
I'm excited to show people my robot because I want to inspire little kids so they get more focused on working on STEAM projects when they go into middle school.
The Fuse program is helping me to kind of think how engineers think. You gotta think, communicate, have a plan, and it's kind of hard to design stuff, so I kind of know that it's gonna be hard to do.
So you can learn and experience things that you never done, and you can work with different electronics like computers and a 3D printer.
I'm super excited to bring the Fuse curriculum to our students. I love how student-centered the curriculum is and how it really gives kids an access point to find something that sparks their true interest. And what a great opportunity for kids to find out at such an early age, like, this is what I'm passionate about. One thing I know for sure is that talent is equally distributed and opportunities are not. And so I believe that all kids should have opportunities to learn in spaces like this Genius Lab. And so I'm so excited by the support that we're getting for Siemens, because I know that we can potentially scale these opportunities for all of the students, not just the ones that are in this class.
Across our district, thanks to partners like Siemens and so many others, our students are learning in revolutionary new classroom environments. We have more than 1,300 high school internships, many with Rady Children's Hospital. Qualcomm and the Think of It labs are helping students to be engaged in robust, hands-on, brains-on learning. Our corporate partners and our community at large have stepped up to serve our students together. In the same way, we've stepped up to keep our commitment to our community. We have balanced the books every year as required by law, but we've gone even further. Last year, we eliminated a structural deficit that had haunted the district for years by cutting more than $62 million from the central office. Why did we cut over $62 million from the central office? Simple: to protect student programs and small class sizes. A retirement incentive allowed our staff to remain in the classroom and the schools, mitigating the need for massive layoffs. Working together, we've improved our financial position. As a result, our fiscal oversight agency, the County Office of Education, gave us a positive financial certification this year. They singled out our leadership for demonstrating the fiscal restraint to put our financial house back in order. Even the San Diego County Taxpayers Association gave us a perfect 100% A+ rating on their annual report card for our transparency and financial management. These financial gains are not simply of academic interest. Wall Street has noticed our sound management style and rewarded the district with lower interest rates, saving taxpayers millions of dollars. San Diego Unified has the highest credit rating in California with a AAA rating by Fitch. These lower interest rates will result in more than $150 million in savings for San Diego taxpayers. We have a fiduciary responsibility to strategically allocate our finite resources in a manner that will maximize student outcomes. Keeping our commitment to the communities we serve means more than being sound managers of public money. It also means leading on critical issues, including the future of our planet. I was proud to testify yesterday at the City of San Diego in favor of legislation banning styrofoam and polystyrene. As many of you remember, the board voted to ban polystyrene in the school district in 2011. This type of leadership matters, even when today, because there are people pushing in the wrong direction. Now, I don't want to name names, but there's another president out there, not named Beiser, who's called for importing Russian asbestos into the country that will poison our families. He's called for lowering protections against lead paint, even though we know lead causes permanent brain damage to children. Now, in our district, we have set the toughest standards for clean drinking water in the state. We're going to get the lead out of our drinking water, and we're going to get the asbestos out of our buildings. That is the right thing to do for our children, and it's the right thing to do as the school district. This is the time to double our efforts. We have to keep moving forward on all these issues. We have committed to reduce our carbon footprint and be a net zero district by 2030. Last week, the UN issued a report showing the world will face catastrophic climate collapse by 2030, unless the whole planet acts to reduce carbon emissions now. We have students already in our schools in the class of 2030. These students face the prospect of graduating into a world that is unrecognizable. I'm not prepared to let that happen, and I know you aren't either. That's why we're going to keep on the road that we're on to environmental justice, fiscal stability, and strong academic gains. We will continue to work together for our students. Thank you very much. And now it gives me great honor to introduce the Superintendent of San Diego Unified School District, Superintendent Cindy Martin.
Thank you, President Beiser. Of course, thank you to the full board. President Beiser already said thank you to our full Board of Education. I also want to recognize some other distinguished guests that are with us this evening. Of course, thank you to our principal, the host of tonight, and hosting the event here, Principal Renfrey. I don't know where you went, but thank you. Thank you to the principal and to Sarah High School staff. I'd like to also say thank you to a lot of VIPs that are here today that have joined us. If I didn't see you out there already, I want to thank you for being here. We have Matt Yagayan from the office of Councilmember Georgette Gomez. Matt. Cesar Solis from the office of Congressman Scott Peters. Adrian Granda, Public Policy Manager from the Department of Government Affairs. Joel Day, the Executive Director of Boards and Commissions from the Office of Mayor Kevin Faulkner. Kevin, you're right, you can't see. You need like a visor up here. Okay, yeah, and then I'll wave at who's ever not standing up if I can't see them. Exactly. I also want to say thank you. You just got a little preview of our partners in the video that was just shown, but I want to say thank you to Raytheon for being here. We have Sue Magnell, the Site Operations Manager, and Marie Ang, the Senior Software Engineer. Raytheon. And from Siemens, we have Vince Delpido. And I'd like to say that San Diego Unified STEAM efforts are the product of district innovation and collaboration with local industry, and those are just some examples, as Kevin said, hundreds of partners. But I want to take a minute to thank the partners that are actually present here tonight. EcoLife has donated equipment and supplies that are bringing cutting-edge technologies like aquaponics to our youngest learners in San Diego. I also want to thank the San Diego County Credit Union, who's working with our STEAM team to infuse financial literacy into future curriculum offerings. Raytheon continues to illuminate the world of engineering for our middle school students across the district. And as you saw, we recently launched the Siemens-powered Genius Lab at Montgomery Middle School. So we're very thankful to our partners who give so freely and help us ensure that classroom learning as early as transitional kindergarten is rigorous, relevant, and engaging. That's what real partnership looks like, making an impact for our students. So to all those partners that are here, mentioned and not mentioned, a big round of applause. Thank you. So this month, the New York Times and others published a new Opportunity Atlas. It was compiled by researchers at Harvard University. The idea was to map the childhood roots of social mobility. The results were based on anonymous data following 20 million Americans from childhood until their mid-30s. You can imagine what that study looked like. Some of the results of this study were not surprising. They found that far too many children have their futures determined by their race and by their zip code. They found that a child who grew up where we are tonight, right here in Tierra Santa, for example, who's now in their mid-30s, is likely earning 33% less than the same child who grew up in Coronado. They found rising inequality in our country, including the fact that children with parents in the top 1% of the income distribution are 77 times more likely to attend elite colleges and universities than their children with parents in the bottom 20% of the income distribution. Sobering. But they also found reason for hope, and that is what I would like to speak about tonight. Because the researchers also found something we all know to be true. Education quality does matter. Great teachers, great schools, powerful supports make a real difference in the lives of our children. They result in higher college attendance rates, increased long-term earnings, higher retirement savings, and reduced teenage pregnancies. Education is the engine that drives social mobility in our society. Our schools must help every one of our students move forward every single day. We must help them achieve more than their own parents ever dreamed was possible. Tackling inequality, it's our essential obligation, because education is, in fact, the great equalizer. As Thomas Jefferson said, the field of knowledge is the common property of all. In San Diego, our schools are energized around equity. I was recently privileged with our instructional team to attend the County Office of Education Forum on Equity, organized by Superintendent Dr. Paul Gotthold and his team. It was an incredibly powerful event, being surrounded by hundreds of educators in our region who are committed to helping each and every student perform at the highest levels. That same energy that we experienced in this region exists across this state today. There is an education revolution happening in our very own state, in California. On July 1st, 2013, the day I assumed the job of superintendent, Governor Brown signed into law the most significant piece of education reform legislation in decades, the Local Control Funding Formula, or LCFF. It's aimed at achieving equity. The districts with the greatest need get the greatest funding. In San Diego Unified, we actually go a step further, and we bring this equity-based funding model down to the school level. It's one of the ways we tell our students that their zip code is not their destiny. The local control and accountability portions of the education reform are equally important. We've aligned our entire district to clarify our commitments to the communities that we serve. We've committed to providing academic rigor, arts and music, athletics and fitness, advanced technology, and civics education in all of our schools. We have made these commitments because we believe they're essential ingredients of a well-rounded education today. They are part of our effort to raise standards across the district, including the adoption of our tougher graduation requirements. Hard to believe, this is my 6th State of the District speech, and I've learned some things along the way. One of the toughest aspects that we hear about with leadership is not just knowing what to do, but knowing how to do the right thing at the right time, in the right way, with the right people, for the right reasons. So how do we know if these changes that we've put in place are the right ones? Well, since we've put these changes in place beginning back in 2013, our students have achieved the highest graduation rate among big city districts in the state. And for African American and Latino students, the graduation gap is closing. Since we put these changes in place in 2013, we have more students reading at grade level, more doing math at grade level, and more students graduating ready for college. In fact, the percentage of students who are college ready, based on the UC CSU A through G with a C or better pass rate, is now 70%, up from just 50% in 2013. The California Department of Education recently highlighted San Diego Unified as a bright spot, and one of the districts now reaping the benefits of the initiatives to improve student performance. They said San Diego Unified School District has shown solid gains on math and English tests. The district increased scores 5.35% in English language arts and literacy since 2015 and 0.77 from 2017 to 2018. And meanwhile, the math scores improved 6.16% since 2015 and 1.13% since 2017. This academic achievement matters. It matters all the more because, as President Beiser said, the success of our city depends on the success of our students. This is true in very concrete and real terms, and I get to see examples of it all day, every day across this district students as leaders, making the city a better place. I recently met an incredibly inspirational group of students at Muirlands Middle School. It's a group of Girl Scouts who made it their Silver Award project to make Muirlands Middle School the first heart-healthy school in the state of California, having the school meet rigorous requirements, over nearly half a dozen requirements that were not easy. They took a single incident by one of the girls whose father suffered a cardiac arrest at a local gym and nearly died were it not for immediate action of someone in the gym administering CPR. This girl used her sense of agency and used the academic skills that she's acquired, and she's gathered her Girl Scout troop around her, and they took action to train over 600 students at Muirlands Middle School and expand across the entire community AED machines and hands-only CPR, so that if any other member of the community experiences a cardiac arrest, there will be immediate hands-on support so that we don't lose somebody to cardiac arrest. What this showed was a group of students with a real example of making a real difference and making San Diego better. I also recently met a group of students at Dana Middle School. They were doing a survey of libraries and preschools in the neighborhood, asking kids' favorite toys. And they came up with the favorite toys, and now they're using their 3D printing machines, coding, a program called SketchUp and CorelDRAW, and several other advanced technology approaches to design and build, using laser cut machines and 3D printers, their own toys to distribute out to the community to make a difference in their local community. Driven by students, supported by the academic rigor, students with voice and agency, making San Diego a better place. I also recently met a student, his name was Dimitri, from Green Elementary, who, because he participated in the training at his school offered by our district for hands-only CPR, was able to save his mother's life. When his mother experienced cardiac arrest, he was at home, and by the way, he's a set of triplets. All three had been trained in hands-only CPR as third graders at Green. Thanks to our PE teacher and Lynn Barnes-Wallace and a generous grant from Ron Roberts, $100,000 to put hands-only CPR across our schools, Dimitri went into action when his mother suffered a heart event at home. Because of his efforts and his courage, his mother is still alive today. When we started the hands-only CPR program across our district related to our health and wellness goals, we said at that press conference, if this saves just one life, this will have been worth it. Well, this year we found out not only did Dimitri save his mother's life, we found out a second life has recently been saved when an 8th grade girl, Eliana, from Golden Hill K-8 school, was at a family party where there was a swimming pool, and her cousin was found in the pool, and she went into action, pulled her cousin out of the pool, administered what she knew about hands-only CPR, what she learned in our schools, administered it to her young cousin, and her young cousin is alive today because of her efforts. Our connection to giving students the tools that they need to make a difference in the community is vital and important. Through strong partnerships with organizations like the American Heart Association, we're able to partner and put these kinds of programs in our schools that make a real life-saving difference. There's another student in Point Loma I just learned about. I'm going to find out even more about her. Her name is Sarah Teague Thompson, and as a student growing up in the Point Loma cluster, she's now a high school senior at Point Loma High. She decided to reach back and last January put together STEM Day for her school at Dana and Correa to introduce the students to the STEM and STEAM pathways in her cluster and show what kinds of classes they can take. She organized this entire project. Of course, she was a Girl Scout. Are you getting there's a little Girl Scout theme here? I wore green on purpose. No, just kidding. But whether you're involved in whatever group organization, Girl Scouts is personally important to me. I learned leadership skills as a lifelong Girl Scout. I grew up as a Girl Scout, earned the Gold Award as a senior in high school, which is equivalent to the Eagle Scout in Boy Scouts. I was a Girl Scout leader when I was in college. I understand the importance of leadership skills, and when I see our young people becoming civically minded, civically engaged, doing community outreach, and making a real difference in their community, I know we've built a school system that is beyond delivering a simple test score. We are delivering real differences for people in our community, and these children give us these examples and inspire me every single day. I could not be more proud of our schools and our students helping to make our city better every single day. The state of our district is the state of our students, in fact. And the state of our students, I know, is quite strong. In fact, there's a famous educator that once said, "This generation has a rendezvous with excellence," and our children show us that every day. I want to show you another example of how I really know we're on the right path. I have a little video. Could we please show that?
Welcome to the Patrick Henry Thrift Store. My name is Laura Dickens and I teach physics and AP Environmental Science here. In Environmental Science we had a small sort of cabinet in the back and we were doing a clothing exchange. We wanted to upcycle and reuse clothing. Slowly we found out that some students had a greater need than others, so students were donating extra jackets and sweatshirts. At the same time, we have the Interact Club. Their mission on campus is to make sure the needs of our foster students and our homeless students are met. An advisor and a couple of parents heard about everything happening independently, and they said, let's smash these together. Parents got involved, and some Facebook things happened, and all of a sudden, a giant thrift store emerged.
And basically what the Interact Club is, thanks to this thrift store, we receive a large portion of the profits, and they go towards a roster, a group of Patrick Henry students that are currently homeless, in need, and they struggle for basic things or to be a part of basic things in high school.
This place is so amazing. This is what we mean when we talk about student voice and agency and being an agent for change. Right here at Patrick Henry High School, the kids got together and decided that they're going to put something together that is going to take community donations, they'll raise money, and then give it back to other kids here in the community. And just the entrepreneurship that it took to put this together and organize this into a nice little thrift store here on the campus. And the kids are learning leadership skills and business skills, and they're civically minded and engaged and able to give back. Pretty much everything that represents San Diego Unified is right here at Patrick Henry Thrift Store, and I just am so proud of the kids here for what they've put together, and they know they've made a contribution.
Last year we bought 19 kids laptops before they went to college, like seniors, because they didn't have computers.
We have daily objectives when we come into the thrift store for the students. They really enjoy it. It's not only, they get their academics, but it mixes in some life skills that they will be able to take with them after school, to have a higher expectation of themselves and what they can accomplish.
When we talk about academic excellence, voice, and agency, we have an example right here at Patrick Henry, and I was able to find a couple things myself that I'm going to buy some earrings and a beautiful necklace with an M on it for Martin. So I'm still shopping. There's more for me to find. Such treasures, and I recommend anybody in the district or the city come over here and support the students who are making this happen.
I've bought a lot of things. A lot. I buy a lot every day, pretty much.
I really appreciate the heart that everyone puts into it, because I think it's felt by everyone, and that's why it works.
I am incredibly honored to be joined tonight by Principal of Patrick Henry, Liz Gillingham, and the teacher you just saw, Laura Dickens. Will you please stand? Come on, stand up. exceptional leadership, exceptional teachers creates exceptional things like you just saw there today. By the way, the only reason the students aren't here is because they are actually preparing for a mock trial right now. Oh wait, a student's here. You're here. Yay to the students. Congratulations. Just like I said in the video, this is exactly what I'm talking about, the kind of civic-minded voice and agency and serious academics that make San Diego Unified create the conditions that cause San Diego to be a better place for all of our community. I could not be more proud. And well, I'll say, here's my necklace, my M necklace, and my earrings. And they didn't say it in the commercial, but everything in the store is $1. Like $1, everything. It's like the best deal in San Diego. And look, it's an environmentally sound because they're up, what do you call it? Upcycling, yeah, I almost said upsizing. Upcycling, and then you're giving back and you're buying computers for our students, so it's phenomenal. We are emphatically raising a generation of students who've accepted their responsibility to shape our world. Our students are not waiting. They are on a march to a better future, a better San Diego. We recently welcomed civil rights icon, Congressman John Lewis. You can clap. We welcomed him to Morse High School, where we have another extraordinary principal, Cynthia Larkin. The title of Congressman Lewis's graphic novel was March, and his message was simple: keep marching, keep moving forward until we have built a world with equality and justice for all. The necklace I'm wearing tonight was in fact purchased at the Patrick Henry thrift store, and it has an M for Martin, but it might just as easily stand for March. The students running the store took the time to share their story and to inspire us all here tonight to keep marching. There is nothing more powerful than taking the time to share your conviction that we can and will do better. That's why tonight I'm asking our students, our parents, our teachers, our neighbors, our partners to join us in the Better San Diego online campaign. Each week we'll be sharing with our community some of the ways schools help our city do better. Our goal is to create a stronger community of change agents and inspire each other to always do better and be better for our city. We are San Diego Unified, unified in our conviction that your zip code should not determine your destiny. Your race, gender, and sexual identity enrich our education community. The young people we heard from and about tonight understand this. So do their teachers. There are thousands of people across San Diego working with us every day to make our schools and our city better. Together we will inspire each other to accomplish what once seemed impossible. Hashtag Better San Diego, or hashtag Better SD is my new hashtag. So I want to thank you for being a part of this, and hashtag Better SD onward with tonight's festivities. Thank you, everybody. If you have inspiring stories to share, share them with us and hashtag it BetterSD. And I'd like to now welcome President Beiser back to the stage for our closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Cindy Martin, one more time for her leadership, years of service and dedication to improving San Diego schools. Thanks again to Sarah High School for hosting tonight's event, and to the musicians from Sarah High School for providing tonight's entertainment. I'd also like to thank the Sarah High Navy JROTC, the District Food and Services Department, and the Communications Department and the Board Services Office for coordinating tonight's event. The October 16th meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you, and have a good night.